Head to that light over there and it will set you free. Keep it going. There is Mama Cat, and she's been pretty sick here lately. Mama, how you feeling today? She's been coughing and sneezing and just acting kind of weird. I think she's about 10 years old, so I'm not sure how much life she's got left in her, but I think she's doing better today because I got the cameras out. I like that old cat. I give her a hard time, but out of all our pets, she's the oldest one we got. We got her back in 2016, I think. My wife found her in the middle of the road with 2 kittens. We brought them home. We found a home for one of the kittens. The other one we brought here when we moved to this farm, but it got gone after about 2 weeks, and Mama Cat, she stayed with us. But she sure is hateful. A lot going on today, guys. I need to get this water cut on for the garden because we are in the middle of what feels like is a drought. What are you girls over there hollering about? I'll let you out here in just a minute. So welcome back to the sawmill, friends. I did some irrigation on my garden. I guess you would call this irrigation. It's kind of cheating, I guess. Let me show it to you guys. So like I was saying earlier, we've not had any rain in about a week, and there's no rain on the forecast for the next 10 days. And I'm about sick and tired of watering this garden every day. So my wife suggested something I didn't think about, and that is some soaker hoses. You guys see them right there? I have never had these before. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a little hose that you run at the base of your plants, and it looks like it sweats water as water goes into it. Let me give you a better example back here where it comes in. So the water comes in from the hose right there to this little 4-way valve. Then you run your soaker hoses off that. We've got good pressure right here. You can see the water just kind of sweats on the outside of that soaker hose, and it drips water right there at the base of your plants. I think it's gonna work pretty good. I ran it last night for about an hour trying it out, and I hate the thought of watering the garden this much, but guys, I tell you, we're not getting any rain over the next few weeks. And these cantaloupes right here, and the watermelons, these tomatoes, and the beans, they need some rain, guys. Sunlight's good, but you need some rain to go with it. All right, so for you guys out there that are running soaker hoses, 2 questions. How long do you run them, and how often are you doing it? I watched a bunch of YouTube videos last night, and people were all over the board as far as how often they run these things and how long they do it. I ran it last night for maybe an hour or so just to try it out, and I just turned them on. It's 11 in the morning. I think I'll run them again for about an hour and see how that does. I'm not sure. That may be too much. I don't know. For you experienced gardeners out there, let me know down in the comments. And also to check on the corn, I did not have enough hoses to come all the way over here to the corn, so I'm coming up here at night with the water hose and watering it. And the corn is looking pretty good right there. I had a few bare spots where the corn didn't come up, and I have no idea why. I replanted those a few days ago, and the same thing down there in the end, but other than that, looks pretty good. This is the first 2 rows that went in. That was the 3rd row, and this 4th row right here I added the other day because I need to put something in this space beside wood chips. And it started coming up yesterday. It's looking pretty good as well. Should have a good garden this year as long as those soaker hoses do their job. So the high for the day is about 91. So I got a fan over here to keep me cool because there's no shade. Got the side-by-side set up with the miter saw. There's our lumber. And we're putting some yellow my goodness, I can't talk today. Yellow pine board and batten siding on the back of the chicken house. Finally, started it yesterday. Had to take that old stuff off, frame it out. Started putting the siding on last night. It looks pretty good so far. I got plenty of these 1x6s, but I'm lacking some batten strips. So I think I'll go ahead right now and put up some more siding get this finished, and then I'll go up to the sawmill and we'll make some 1x3s to finish this up. And after that's over with, I need to close in these gaps at the top that I should have done when I built the roof or rebuilt the roof last year. And then we got to start on the new chicken run, which will come off both of these walls right here. I noticed the chickens were really interested in the chicken run over here, and I think it's because there's a snake in there. Yep, looks like the black snake has returned. I don't think he's got any eggs in him though, because he's not swelled up anywhere. Come on, keep it going, go around. No, go that way. The wrong way. Come on, go back. Back. Look to there. There you go. Get out of here. I'm pretty sure that's the same snake that was in the driveway about a week ago, but I could be wrong. As I mentioned, I don't like snakes. All right, guys, here's where we're at on this project today. Board and batten siding using yellow pine, 4/4 boards, and my batten strips are 1x3s. I got all the boards installed, but I ran out of these batten strips, so we'll head up to the sawmill here in just a minute and saw up some more of those. And this board and batten siding, I've showed this on this channel several times over the years, and in my opinion, there's no really wrong way to do it. Some people say you put one nail in the middle of this 1x6 and that's it, and your batten strips hold it down. That probably works. I like to put 2 nails toward the middle, then I put the batten strips over that crack right there. And if you're new to this channel, or if you're new to this method of putting siding on, it's called board and batten for a reason. That's your boards, and as they shrink and this gap opens up even wider, the batten strips will cover that gap and you'll have a nice clean look on your siding. And some people really get these close right here on their tolerance. I leave about a 1/2 inch in some cases. That's about 1/4 right there. Get out of here, B. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, it really don't matter. We're using 3-inch battens, so 3 inches will have no trouble covering that up even after these boards start to dry. Because if you butt these up real close to each other, they'll look good today, but here in about 3 weeks when this pine starts drying out, or sooner, you'll have about maybe a 3/8 inch gap between the boards, and that's where these strips come in, because that keeps them covered and it looks better. So it's about 93 degrees out here today. The humidity's terrible. Bruno's in the swimming pool. I should probably be in the swimming pool. That sounds a whole lot funner than running the sawmill right now. But I'll go get this done, so maybe later. But before we look at this pine, I just got a package in the mail from Iowa. Let's go take a look at it. So my good buddy Tim Fuller in Iowa sent me a package, and I have no idea what it is. I just called him on the phone prior to hitting the record button to make sure he didn't care that I showed this on video. So better watch what I'm doing. I'm liable to stab myself in the stomach here. That would be a viral video, but it wouldn't go well for me. Let's see what Tim sent us. Am I recording? My goodness. Yeah, I'm recording. This camera, I've had lots of trouble with my camera today. I use a Canon up here at the mill, and I tell you what, I've been fighting it for the past 20 minutes. What in the world is this, Tim? What'd you send us? Oh my goodness. Looky there, friends. An official retired with wood measuring tape. Let me bring it in closer. Let me see, me focus in. There you go, you guys can see it now. Look at there. I think that's a Stanley measuring tape, but Tim gets these and puts his logo on them, retired with wood, fine woodworking. There's a story behind this, let me share it with you. And he runs 2 Wood-Mizer sawmills. I think he may still have a Circle sawmill. Can't remember, but he does woodworking, builds rocking chairs, clots, some of the nicest stuff you'll ever see. And he sent me this measuring tape right here. It says retired with wood several years ago, and I keep it in my holster right there. And guys, if you carry a measuring tape, buy this holster. They don't sponsor me. I don't make no money off of it. You can get this on Amazon. I'll leave a link below. If you buy it with that link, I'll probably make a quarter or something. Something very, not like I'm getting rich here. But that right there, guys, will change your life if you're carrying a measuring tape. The only thing you have to do is that little clip that's on the back of these, get rid of it, and it will fit perfectly in that holster. So anyways, he sent me this one several years ago. What in the world was that? Chicken under the sawmill in here, my goodness. Thought it was a snake. So anyways, Tim sent me this several years ago, and I use it every day. When I get out of bed and come outside to work, there's 2 things I grab, my gloves and this holster for the tape. I always got this on me. And the other day I was talking to Tim, and I told him, I said, I may need a new measuring tape soon because I've been cutting a lot of pine, and Tim does not like pine. I'll have to throw that out there as well. And I got a bunch of pitch and sap, which is pretty much the same thing with pine, on the back of the blade here. And I might take some rubbing alcohol and try to clean it off. But this one right here is pretty old, and I may retire it down to the wood shop and put it on the wall. But it's been a great measuring tape. I mentioned that the other day, and I forgot about it till just now. I had no idea he was going to send me one of these. I didn't ask him to send it to me. I figured he didn't have any more, but sure enough, there's a new one. I just got to take the clip off the back. So Tim, if you're watching, and I doubt you are, you're pretty busy this time of year. Thanks for the measuring tape. Appreciate it. All right, so we're going to saw up some batting strips. I need 25 of them. These are going to be 1 by 3 by 8. And that's going to be the nominal dimension. I think I said that right. Nominal and actual. I think nominal is before it's worked down to actual dimensions. I get that mixed up all the time. So they're going to be 1 by 3s. They're not going to be 3/4 by 2.5. They're going to be 1 by 3s, 8 foot long. We should get more than enough out of this one pine log. And guys, after we do this one, it's almost 4 o'clock, and my neighbors are having a Father's Day church singing tonight. It starts in an hour, so I'll probably do this log and we're done for the day because I don't want to disturb my neighbors. They're good people back here. They just do this once a year on Father's Day weekend. So we'll get this sawed up and finish that, then I'll probably call it a day, but this video will not end because we'll pick right back up in the morning when we stop today. I hope that's not confusing. Sounds kind of confusing to me, but hopefully it makes sense to you guys. Sometimes there's a chicken. The other side of the shop is closed off, and I got a chicken in there. My goodness, these chickens are taking over. So, anyways, I keep on thinking there's going to be a snake under me. I don't know why. I didn't like to see them up here every day. So on the Sawmill, Joe Maine Silvertip Wood-Mizer Turbo 7. If you want to try those blades, call Joe. Cell phone number is in the video description. That blade has been on there for a while, so there may be a blade change while we saw up this pine, but I'm not sure, but we may switch it out. All right, friends, in case you're wondering why I took that lumber crayon, it actually broke while I was trying to use it. And I put an arrow this way. There's a reason I done that, and it's pretty important. So this log had a sweep to it, you know, like a banana. So when you have something like that, your best practice is to saw the horns off, which are the high sides, then turn it over and do the belly, then the other two sides. But you need to try to remember where the sweep was, and that's very important because the two horns, I'll draw an arrow. That way I never forget what side of the log that's on. And here's why that's important. So if you think about that log shaped like a banana, there's a lot of stress in it, and it's going to bow in the direction that the sweep is in. So since we're doing construction lumber today, I don't mind that bow being there as long as the bow is on the face of my boards. I don't want them on the side of the boards, because then I'd have a crook as it dried, and that would look pretty bad. If there's a bow as it dries, it's going to stay flat because it's nailed. If it's got a crook in it, it may kind of side goggle a little bit on the sides of it and have like a S shape sometimes. That's over exaggerating, but you know what I mean. So when you have a log with a sweep to it, remember where that sweep is and have your boards, or the face of your boards, be in alignment of the sweep. I hope that makes a lot of sense. I hope you guys understand that. I'm trying to explain it the best way that I can, because as it dries, that bow is going to stay where it's at because you got it nailed down flat. If the sweep is on the side of your lumber, you're going to have a lot of crooks in it. So always remember on those logs with the bow to do your horns and the belly first, and always mark where the horns are, or the belly, whichever one you want to mark, and that's where your faces will come from. And here's how we're going to saw this now that we know what we're doing. I hope I sound like I know what I'm doing. I am a YouTuber, you know. Those guys never mess up. So now I'll come down through here and make 3-inch cuts. So we'll have a 3-inch block right there, and probably right there at the bottom. Then we'll flip them up and have the arrow facing up, which is what you want, and saw the board straight down. That way that bow or the crown or whatever you want to call it is captured in the lumber in the correct direction. It's very important right there with these logs that have crowns in them. Very important. Hopefully that made some sense. I'm not the best teacher in the world. I learned that off the Forester Forum years ago. Shout out to my buddy Magic Man. He explains that on the forum all the time. If you want to learn a lot about sawmilling, other than watching my YouTube channel, you can go join the Forester Forum and you'll learn a lot right there. That's where I learned a lot of the stuff about sawmilling before I actually had a mill. I ordered my sawmill, and back in the day when you ordered a Wood-Mizer, this was 2010 I think, you would have a Wood-Mizer in like 6 weeks, no problem. I think now they're about a 5-month wait, maybe 4 months. It's not as bad as it was, but it's getting better. But back in the day, I ordered my sawmill, you know, I had about 6 weeks before it came in. I got on the Forester Forum and I read everything on there, everything. There's a ton of knowledge over there, a ton of knowledge. And the best thing, it's free. It is actually 2 days later. We've been cutting hay for the past 2 days. It's already 8 o'clock, so the lighting doesn't look too great on this camera. I'm going to answer these questions here from my Patreon members, and this video will probably be over. I'm tired, to be honest with you. I tell you what, we've been at it for 2 days now, and we got a lot done, but there's a lot left to do. Still got to bale that hay over there. So here's the deal. Here's the questions we're going to answer real fast, and these are questions from my Patreon members. Question number 1 comes from Jeff Bond. And congratulations, Jeff. You just bought a new sawmill the other day. I remember you sending me that picture the other day, and his question is, excuse me, got a fly in my ear or something. I'll tell you what, I got stuff all over me. All right, his question is, will you pay for my new sawmill I just got? Jeff, I will not do it. You must pay for it yourself so you will appreciate it more. Or at least that kind of sounds good, don't it? We'll leave it at that. Sean Nelson, how do you work out deals with local tree services? Is it simply convenient for them to dump the big trunks at no charge? Do you pay them? How do you put value and price on lumber? I put value on it just like I would a regular log. It doesn't matter. If it's a yard tree from a tree service, or if it's a, what are y'all doing running over here? These chickens running up on me here. If it's a yard tree from a tree service and it's a high grade log, I treat it just like the rest of them. As far as the situation I have with these tree services, sometimes I get them for free, sometimes I pay for them. Depends on if they're nice or not. If I have to go get them, I usually don't pay a whole lot because I've got to haul them home. But the key is treat the guys right. If you pull up to get a log and he says you can have it, and it's an 8-foot walnut with that much sap wood and it's a straight pith and no knots, buy his lunch, give him a couple $100, you know, take care of him, he'll take care of you. And those tree service guys are gold because once you establish a good relationship with them, they'll always call you. They'll always take care of you and take care of them. All right, so Brian Harrington down in Texas, excuse me if I'm out of breath. What in the world's that? You stay away there, bird. My goodness, I got the chickens out here and a big hawk just flew over. He probably wasn't 10 foot over my head. If I wouldn't been out here right now, he probably would have swept down here and went after one of these birds, I bet. Man, that was too low. So anyways, my good buddy Brian says, are you happy with the camera? That's a camera I'd done a few videos back. Did you get the feature that records the backup video? Yeah, I got the full feature where it records the backup video. Excuse me, I'm tired. And does a very good job. And those cameras, Brian, I've ordered 3 more of them. So it's a really good camera. Really good camera. It was a sponsored video, so they did pay me to do that video showing that camera. But to be honest with you, it's a great camera. I bought 3 since then. It's really good. Another question for Brian. For an entry-level sawyer with a low mid-grade manual mill, not deep pockets full of money, that wants to try kiln drying, also an entry level, have you ever heard of anyone having good luck building a wood-fired kiln? Man, I have not, man, to be honest with you. There's a lot of solar kilns out there. Those are real popular. I've never had one of those. People seem to like them. I think they work better in the summertime, but a wood-fired kiln, or like a boiler, I'm sure there's a lot of them out there, Brian, but I'm sorry, I have no knowledge to pass on to you. I'm sorry about that. I don't really know anybody that has one. Next question from Chuck Lewis. If you were starting a small sawmill operation today, taking YouTube out of the equation, what are 2 of the 3 things you would do? Lessons learned from being a sawyer, so to speak. So here's what I would do. I would find a kiln and I would kiln dry all my nice hardwoods and sell them after they're kiln dried for the most money. I would also go find some woodworking clubs within 2-hour range of where I live and invite them over, or go to their meeting and introduce yourself and let them know what you're doing and that you have wood to sell. Network, 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 and do market research. That's so important. Don't buy a sawmill unless you do market research for the area that you live in and look up what you're going to be offering them. Are you going to be doing portable sawmilling? Are you going to be selling lumber? What are you going to be doing? Make sure there's not 50 portable sawmills in your county. Won't be very smart, you know. If you want to have a sawmill and there's 50 portable sawmills, get you a kiln and sell dried wood, because there's not a lot of people out there that has a kiln. that's a good place to be right there at the sawmill if you can have a kiln on site. Because most of your guys with sawmills do not have a kiln. That's how you can differ yourself from the other guys. Get yourself a kiln. All right, I got a manual sawmill. What's the best first steps to try and make money with it? Same answer right there. If you have a manual sawmill, you're not going to be able to knock out 10,000 board feet at a time. It's not realistic. You're going to want to get a few high-grade logs, saw up those logs, grade saw them, kiln dry them, and that's where your better money is. Lower quantity, but higher value. That's a key right there. Lower quantity, high value. Don't take those orders for 3,000 board foot of pine for a barn. You're going to work yourself to death because it's a manual mill. You're not going to make very much money with it, and it's going to discourage you at the end of the day. Buy 2 walnut logs off a veneer log yard, bring them home, saw them and dry them, quadruple your money, and you just had to saw 2 logs. So there's the best money right there. Or air dry them at least and get better money out of it if you can't find a kiln. But there's a lot of kilns around if you look hard enough. Girls, stay off the tractor. These new chickens, man, they're all over the place. They like to climb on the tractor, which I wouldn't mind if they wouldn't do you know what on the tractor. So please stay off the tractor. I know you speak English. All right, Dan Mayer says, there's only so many hours in a day. How are you going to keep up the output working solo with cattle and all the land to maintain? I love that mower. I'm determined, Dan, to be honest with you. And this whole lifestyle and this whole operation that I've built here is what I've always wanted. And I'm just about to the point of being where I've always wanted to be. So I look forward to the work. I don't mind it at all. I might get some help though. Not full-time help, not part-time help, but I could see myself getting help a few days a month, maybe just to stack lumber. But that would probably have to happen sooner than later. Just curious if wood turners like their wood wet or dry. Mr. Dale, I think the wood turners will jump in the comments right now and let us know right there. I think most of them like it air dried, but I could be wrong about that, Dale. I could be wrong. Todd Phillips, I worked at a goat ranch years ago. Will you be getting any goats when you start having livestock at the Sawmill farm? I don't know, Todd. We're definitely going to do cows. We already have chickens. I wouldn't mind putting like a miniature donkey with the cows to keep that, excuse me, my goodness, I'm exhausted, to keep the coyotes at bay. But as far as goats go, I don't know, man. My neighbor back here behind me's got goats, and you guys see me all the time go over there and have to get those goats' head out of the fence. So I'm not a big fan of goats because of that. Maybe if you had a proper fence, it wouldn't be that bad. I don't know, but I'm not sure about goats. Definitely cattle. Definitely cattle, especially since we're cutting hay now. Is there any more questions? Okay, that's it, actually. All right, good deal. So if you want your questions answered on this channel, go join the Patreon page. I'm going to start doing this at least once a month and catching up on their questions. So I'm done for the night, guys. I will see you guys back here tomorrow, which will actually be yesterday because I'm 3 or 4 days behind on videos because of cutting hay this week. So I'll see you guys here in a few days, and I'm not sure what the next video will be about. Probably cutting hay on the next 2, I would say, more than likely. Yep, more than likely. So thanks for watching, friends. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys back here soon.